I'm coming off only my second losing year over the last 10. I tell you when I win, I tell you when I lose. I never hide that because the road to being a winning bettor has a lot of ups and downs. Again, this is one long war with a ton of battles in between. You're not going to win every battle, but as long as you're winning the war, that's the goal. Since 2015, I started being profitable in about 2010, 2011, but I didn't start documenting until 2015. Every single bet I released to subscribers was documented in multiple places. Since 2025, 2026, 27, 28, 29, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's 9, 10 straight years that I've documented. 2 of those were losing years. I lost in 2019, and then 2020 was my most profitable year, and I lost again in 2023. Now, 2023, I think was an outlier year. Here's why. Hear me out. UFC favorites, and I had my best year in MMA, they cashed over 70% versus the money line. That's an outlier year. They don't do that well. In fact, only 2 other major sports do underdogs perform better. That's the NHL and #1 Major League Baseball. So a lot of favorites came in MMA, but that wasn't it. The favorites had a huge year in all the markets. Let's look at the NFL. Only 14 dogs won straight up in the entire month of December, the fewest in the last 20 plus years. Since week 15, favorites were winning at over 70%, the highest since 1985. And this is the first time in the 30 plus years that I've been betting every day that the preseason favorites in NFL, Kansas City Chiefs, in NBA, Boston Celtics, in Major League Baseball, the LA Dodgers won their respective championship. I am not making excuses. What I'm trying to show you is that if you're going to be betting long term, if that truly is the goal, then you will need to swallow the variance and the volatility that comes with the edge we're working with. Nobody has a big enough edge not to taste it. I talked about it many times so that I prepare my subscribers. And that's why I have the Steam Room, that anyone that signs up with me long term, I make sure I go each and every week into that Steam Room and I'm accountable. I go over results to date. I go over results through the year. I go over long-term results. I go over our money management approach. So I can be accountable to those bettors and help navigate through these choppy waters. Because rest assured, during my most profitable years, there were a lot of guys that didn't overcome the negative runs. Meaning there were some really good people that trusted in me and my ability to win long-term, but because they didn't manage risk correctly, even though I turned the profit for that year, they lost money because when it got hard, when I got cold, they emptied out their bankroll. So when I got hot, they weren't around to benefit from that edge. That can't happen. That can't happen. So how do we do it? How do we avoid that? By keeping our risk of ruin low. I'm going to talk about that a lot moving forward. Risk of ruin. Remember that. You determine your own risk of being ruined. Once you've proven you have an edge. Let's say over your last 1,000 bets, you're profitable, then you are a favorite to be profitable over your next 1,000. But to turn that ability into real money, you got to bet size correctly. You got to overcome those negative runs. So how do you do that? You bet size accordingly. I am comfortable with an 80-20 risk of ruin. That means 80% of the time, I'm going to double my bankroll, but 20% of the time, I am going to lose it, even though I have the edge. That's correct. You can have the edge and still lose all your money. That you can never forget. Trust me, or you will be reminded of it over and over and over again like I was. And so I finally employed the discipline it takes to be a profitable bettor. And that's when the skies opened up. My life changed forever. Anybody can do it if I can do it. Here's though the flip side of that coin. It takes a while. It takes patience because you can't go betting like a gambler anymore. If you got $1,000 bankroll, and you're betting $50 a game, your risk of ruin is upwards of 80%. The flip side of mine, meaning you will go broke 8 out of 10 times and only double your bank 2 out of 10 times. That's the math. This is an opinion. This is the math none of us could run away from. We all have to overcome and face. That's just the truth. So you can minimize your risk of ruin. And look how the law of big numbers played out. I said Like I've told my subscribers since then, I'm working with an 80-20 risk of ruin. We will double our bank 8 out of 10 times. And look what we've done. Over the last 10 years, I've turned a profit 8 of those years, but 2 of those I lost. It's so amazing how the law of big numbers plays out. But you got to be around for that long term. That's life changing. And how do you do that? By betting small in relation to your bankroll. We got to get this out of the way first. Before we talk free picks, before we talk premium free picks, before we talk all that nonsense, you need to know what to do with the information or else it's useless. Because I had access to the sharpest information on the planet. And Matt, at a time when the sports books, we were way ahead of the sports books. I was just a runner and I managed to go broke multiple times while everyone else around me was making money hand over fist because I mismanaged my edge and my bankroll. And I thought my edge was greater than it was and I could bet crazy amounts. That's not going to happen. You're going to go broke. So I bet 0.25. I bet spread between 1x and 5x. I want to bet the most money when I have the biggest edge. I want to bet 5x the amount I do when I have the smallest edge. That's just like a card counter. You want to maximize your profit when the edge is greatest. So I go 1x to 5x. But how do I do that? In increments of 0.25. So I bet 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, and 1.25. I will never bet more than 1.25% of my bankroll. That's correct. So if I have a $10,000 bankroll, 10 grand, the most I'm ever going to bet on my locks, on what I think are locks, which are rare, 1 a month, 2 a month, 5 a month at the most, I'm going to bet 125 on the dog or to win 125 on the favorite. That's it. Now, how many bettors out there with 10 grand are actually going to be betting $25, $50, $75? Real few, right? Well, now you know why 99.5% of sports bettors have negative lifetime earnings. Numbers don't lie. This isn't opinion. This is fact. I'm on your side. Even though it's a zero-sum game and we're all kind of working against each other, that's not the case right here and now. Right now, I want to share with you, not tell you what to do, but actually share what not to do. I made those mistakes so you don't have to. Now, hopefully you're not that kid that needs to touch the stove to find out it's hot. Hopefully you're going to realize by someone telling you that's real hot, don't touch it, and you don't touch it, you could avoid yourself being burned. That's the goal of this podcast, okay? Along with it, we're going to talk every market. We're going to talk stocks, equities, commodities, crypto, whatever you want, Because this year, I'm more excited than ever because not only am I coming off a losing year, but I am lowering volume significantly. I realized I did it like a betting syndicate for 10 years. And even though I was the most profitable, I saw that a lot of my subscribers didn't benefit. It was just too overwhelming. So after proving it for 10 years, the next 10, I'm going to go low volume. I'm going to be a sniper and zero in on the absolute strongest bets. And so far, so good. Again, college basketball last 30 days, number 1 in profit. College basketball 4%, number 1 in profit. NBA 2025 so far, 3-1. Just picking little spots. That's what we're going to do. And that's why I'm going to have my biggest year yet. I'm extremely excited for it. Now, I don't want to take any more time because this is just the opener of what I have planned for 2025. But I need your comments. I need your feedback. I need you to let me know what you want to talk about, how long I should go. Help me. I'm doing this for you. I'm not getting paid. I'm taking time out of my day because it's my way to pay back to this industry that's afforded me my entire life. Every luxury I have has been afforded to me by the sports betting industry. Every monetary and material thing I own came from me from the sports betting industry. I owe it to those guys that had the ambition I did back then when I started to at least lay out a blueprint for them like I was shown. I got lucky. I grew up in a neighborhood with nothing but wise guys, came out here working with nothing but wise guys. So just through osmosis, I was forced to not approach sports betting like a square. But force of habit, man, until you learn how to do something right, you're going to do how you think it's done. And I bet like a square. I don't want that for anybody. Again, if you're going to do it for entertainment, God bless you. Have fun with it. And join this podcast with me and just to have fun. But if you're going to put your hard-earned money and truly use the sports betting market and as an investment vehicle like I have done with success, it's a long, hard journey, but it's so rewarding, dude. I have the best life right now. I can work from home. As long as I have an internet connection, I can work from anywhere. If I don't want to work, I could just sleep in. There's a market every day. There's bets to make every day. There's plus EV positions available every day. It's a good life, but you have to get there. And that freedom has allowed me now to spiritually become wealthy, like going back to my roots, finding God again, being in a relationship now that's actually a positive, healthy, non-toxic relationship. Like all of that has come from what I've learned, honestly, in this industry. All of it. So weird how that happens. So real quickly, let's talk some sports, because I know that's what you're here for. Let me give you some free picks first, some free picks. I gave out 2 hockey NHL bets today, so don't worry, there won't be a package up for that. I'll give them to you for free right here. I gave bet number 1, Dallas New York Rangers over 6.5, good up to minus 125, 130. And I gave game 12, both again NHL, under 6. Toronto, Philadelphia, under 6. Toronto, Philadelphia. I think that one's good up until about 120, 125 as well. Now, I did bet 6 college basketball plays for the groups I work with. I haven't released any to subscribers yet. Remember, Ace is going low volume. It has to be the strongest of the strong for it to become a premium play. I'll dig into some of these and see if there's any EV left, but you're going to get them right now. Here you go. 3 totals, 2 sides. Forgive me. There's 5 plays. 603 over 135. Kent, Northern Illinois. 648 under 152.5. Auburn, Texas. 659 over 140. Michigan, UCLA. In 2 sides. 637 Cincinnati plus 6. 664 Boise State minus 7. Now, I know everybody's excited about the college football playoffs, so let's get into those real quickly. You're starting to see some money on Texas from the sharp bettors. Some of the square outs were up to minus 6.5 on Ohio State, while my sharpest out is at 5.5. Again, the out that won't take a bet for me is at 6.5. The out that gives me a limit bet like they give anyone else is at 5.5. That is a telling sign that the recreational bettors love Ohio State and the sharp bettors already got down on Texas. Now, I have a huge future on Ohio State, so I'm hoping the public's right. But I have a nice position where I could hedge this now, and I'm going to be able to take the 6 on Texas. How can you not? How can you not? My power ratings make the game about 4, 3.5, 4. So if I had conviction in Ohio State, like where I thought I have the data, my power ratings, the handicap all says they should win this game by double digits, I don't hedge a penny. I don't try to middle this game for a nickel. But when the data power ratings reflect different, you can't have ego. You got to check that at the door if you're going to make money in this racket. So I made a great bet on Ohio State at about 5-1. But how can I not lock in some profit by hedging and trying to hit a middle with Texas? Now, in the second game, it's been nothing but Notre Dame action. A couple guys that I respect that told me they're on the dog, but they're just waiting because they think, remember, the public hasn't really spoken. They're going to start betting this one tomorrow night and Thursday morning. I'm pretty sure they're going to be on the Notre Dame side. These guys are sitting looking for 3 on Penn State. Just going to share that to you. Just going to share that with you. So far, seems like under money from the Sharps in both games. Now, we got NFL playoffs as well. I already released a 5% on Saturday's action, released a 4% on Sunday's action. Don't know if we'll get involved in any more. Like I said, we're looking for winning bets, the strongest, highest plus EV spots to get down on. We'll go over each game in the NFL playoffs in this next one coming up later in the week. And also, I go through each game with Prez on WagerTalk today, each and every morning. So make sure you check that out. Finally, Steam Room picking up again this year. Our first Steam Room is on Sunday. I will be in there bright and early leading into that 10 a.m. game. I was going to do it Saturday so we could talk UFC, talk NFL playoffs and college basketball and all that, but it's just so busy right now. Let's wait till the NFL gets out of the way. And then I want to have some Steam Rooms on Saturday because those are the busiest day with college basketball. And a lot of times I get actionable info that's time sensitive. then I can't release to subscribers because the line's going to move too fast, like some of those added board games. But you guys will be able to take advantage of them in that Steam room. So head on over to WagerTalk.com. I got a 5% up for only $2. Yeah, I decided to fire 5%. Why not? It's a nice future bet for you guys in the NBA. And also have that 5% going in NFL on Saturday. We'll be grinding away on college basketball, where, like I said, #1 last 30 days. It's working good. Low volume is working good for us. I look forward to the rest of this year. I appreciate your support, and more important, your engagement. Smash that like button. Hit me with a comment. And more important, tell me what you want and what you need. And let's get this done, baby. I love you guys. God bless you and yours. And I hope you do some damage this week.